Hello and welcome to the North Bank's instant reaction after the first leg of the League Cup semi-final at Stamford Bridge, where, contrary to how Stef feels, Arsenal actually won the game 3-2.
You've gone early there.
Sorry,
You've gone early. Hello, Holly.
Can I jump in again and just say, guys, watching and listening, myself and Stef and Chris share a WhatsApp group, and I swear I had to keep checking the scoreline. Because these two, so down, so negative. I thought we were brilliant. I thought we absolutely dominated in large chunks of that game. Could have scored more for sure, but, you know, but players miss chances. It's football.
But therein lies your point, isn't it? So what me and Chris see, we saw exactly those same good spells, and we saw us do incredibly well, and we really wish we had more of an advantage to take into that second leg, because
we've got an advantage. We've done much better than any of us anticipated. On that, can I just doff our collective hat to Stuart Ferguson on our Patreon account? And I think he predicts that Arsenal will win by a single goal and a 5-goal thriller. Well done,
which we did,
sir.
Absolutely.
That was a good call. That's our first in 3 games we've been doing this on our Patreon account. He's the first one to get a correct score. So well done. There are no prizes apart from the kudos of the glory of knowing you're king of the prediction league at the moment.
Our undying respect.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, look, so we did win the game 3-2. This is an instant reaction. So your instant reaction is?
A case of what ifs, few regrets. A regret that we didn't press home our advantage more. We were really good, but it's only half time. There's more to come. There was a point in the game, especially when we were 2-0 up, and even when we got it to 3-1 and we had that 2-goal advantage, where you thought a 3-goal advantage, and actually their realistic hope probably does dissipate a little bit, but we just weren't able to turn the screw enough. Couple of good chances went a beg in. There was the Gabriel header that went down, and it was just a shame. So the disappointment comes purely from the fact that it actually wasn't even better. And I know that sounds kind of spoiled and entitled, because at the end of the day, look, a win at Chelsea is a good win, no matter how it comes. And I'll absolutely, understand that. But also at the same time, especially given the nature of this Arsenal team that is really built on solid foundations, they were soft goals to give away. I was particularly disappointed with the first one, with some of the positioning and the way we recovered. I know there was a pretty costly slip that was involved that you can't always legislate for, which we took advantage of when Kante slipped, when Martinelli scored, and we couldn't think of who on earth that was last time out. So yeah, it's just a case of what if. I hope it doesn't come back to bite us. But given the dominance that we had tonight, one would really hope that we're able to show that again, especially at home, where we've been even better this season. So yeah, bring it on. I'm
quite amused by the media narrative that's painting Chelsea as the plucky underdogs. Like, it's not Macclesfield. It's not Macclesfield.
Yeah.
The Palace. It's £1 billion spending Chelsea at home to Arsenal. Now, granted, they were missing Palmer and James and Caicedo, but missing Caicedo means they didn't lose a player during the game, so that's an advantage to them. But I really think that I'm confident now, much more confident now, having watched how we played. But let's on that point rewind to the team news, and the message he sent out with that team selection. I saw a few Chelsea fan accounts, and they saw their team and they saw our team, and they were quite despondent. So what did you think of the team? I mean, just to refresh, very strong. We were kind of stuck at the back, but the rumours of Trossard and Saliba being doubts, thankfully, were quashed, and they both started. White at right back, Timber switched over to left back, Kepa in goal. So I've written down 3 talking points for the team selection: Kepa, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Ethan Nwaneri. I mean, our bench is ridiculous. God. I mean, oh, wow. But anyway, so the 3 talking points: Kepa, Lewis-Skelly, and Ethan Nwaneri.
Well, as you said in our WhatsApp group, our now famous WhatsApp group, Kepa is an absolutely brilliant understudy, and no one would bat an eyelid with him in there. I think Chelsea did maybe target him a little bit on crosses today, and he does have a habit of parrying sometimes when he might catch. But he's still a really top quality keeper. I wouldn't necessarily blame him for either of the goals at all. Like my issue was with more of the fullback positioning and trying to stop the service to the players that ended up scoring, or Garnacho. And then I thought Kepa
could have been stronger on the was it a corner for the second
possibly.
goal?
Yeah, they're two. Never going to be a foul.
We're no fans of Garnacho, but they were 2 unerring finishes. You have to say.
Yeah, and he'll be surprised if he doesn't start the next game, because for as much as Estavio actually did quite well, I felt, against Timber on that side. It's one of those players where he's still very young, and he's able to beat a man. Its end product has got to be the next level for him to step up to. As for the other positions, Miles Lewis-Skelly, I think we could all understand that perhaps he wasn't in the team because his recent performances haven't hit the levels that he was doing last season. He's still incredibly young, but it also shows, and like you said, sent out a message that, no, okay, of the available players that I've got back, these are the best. Timber's played at left backs, not a problem. I had slight issues with where he was stepping into the front line, trying to do a Calafiori style thing, which I don't know if I fully liked that at different times, because it was even during the time that Chelsea had a good spell.
And we were 3-1 up and he was doing it, and there was just no need. That's no a little need. You could employ slightly better game management at that point. It's 2 legs. Let's a 2-goal lead going into the second leg, and I still think that's game over. Obviously, a 1-goal lead now isn't, but
yeah. And then Nwaneri, I don't really know what to say on that.
Just on the Lewis-Skelly one.
Oh.
You like you said, and you're right. His form isn't great, and I suppose my only comeback on that was, he's not going to rediscover form sitting on the bench. He was better in the second half against Portsmouth than he was in the first half, and I just worry about the minutes into Timber and to White as well. May not have been an issue for this game, but let's see if they both play against Forest on Saturday, and then you've got a concern. Away to Inter Milan on Tuesday, home to Manchester United on Saturday, and you're starting to pick up more injuries in a position, in an area of the field that we can ill afford. So anyway, that's just my Lewis-Skelly comment. I would have started with him.
Well, I think it would almost certainly point to him probably starting against Forest, Lewis-Skelly, in that sense. Who plays on the right, I don't know, but he can probably afford then to essentially plan for White or Timber to play the hour, say. Timber
surely, because White's been out for a while.
Well, this is it, yeah. He's got to obviously balance these things up. I think when he goes away to Inter Milan, I think you can probably shuffle the pack a little bit more, maybe even try whether Norgard comes in to support the rear guard. I don't know. He can shift around with that. But you're absolutely right. And we are sort of tied up in that position with the availability. 3 top quality defenders that are out in Incapia and Mosquera, Calafiori. So that's not great. But it like you say, it was just a sign that we were taking this deadly seriously by having our best available fullbacks around. Yeah,
and I said that in the previous pods that I think this has assumed greater importance. Yep. I think winning this tournament, winning this competition, gets this team that monkey off their back. Bottlers, second place. I just think we'll get, not at the start of the season. Of course, it's 4th of 4.
Yeah.
But to get to this point, we lost the semi-final last year. We lost 2 semi-finals last year. So getting through this semi-final, and just a nod to Arteta there, this is the 8th time he's managed a team at Stamford Bridge. He's still undefeated.
Yeah,
I think that's the best record of any visiting manager ever, I think. I read somewhere. So Ethan, not on the bench. Now, how did you... I didn't ask, because I thought he played really well against Portsmouth. Chris was a little bit more reticent on that, but I thought he was really good. How do you think he played against Portsmouth being at the game?
There were two spells, because there was the way we began the game, which was as much Portsmouth trying to start very quickly, very aggressively, because there are, and I've seen, we had a few Portsmouth fans in our comments on different platforms where they said, essentially, yeah, they could just sit back and try and shut Arsenal down, but it essentially would mean them playing the game of when, not if. Okay, so basically it was like, we got a free hit, no one expects us to do anything, go out, get in their faces, express themselves, see what you can do. And they got their goal. But what it showed was whether the players were just a bit cold, or whether I felt that they kind of wilted at the start. There was a kind of weakness to them. Sadly, I think Nwaneri was one of those, and Noni Madueke was as well. Pleasingly, though, on the flip side, once the team had established themselves and a bit more authority in the game, led by the likes of Gabriel Marino, I thought was excellent that day as well, then those players gained a bit of confidence from that. I mean, Madueke ended up having a stellar game for most of the second half and a bit in the first half as well. So yeah, I just felt like it was a bit of a timid start from Nwaneri, but then absolutely, like you say, grew into the game, lots of touches, very much involved in the team's build-up play. But again, he is incredibly young. He's 18, so there is an element of probably, I wonder if there's an element of, that we talk about it in teaching all the time, this idea of the pedagogy. There'll be data and information in the background where they look at him and just think, okay, would it be too much, those 2 games of the week? I don't know. And frankly, with the options available, his time will come. His time will absolutely come.
And I did, I queried his absence from the bench, and then looked at the bench and thought, well, I'm not sure who you drop.
Who do you drop?
Whose place would he take?
Jesus, Eze, Havertz. I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah, and he and just on him, one of the points. We are going to record a Forest preview podcast tomorrow evening, and I'll go into some of these in more depth. But apparently, he has turned down multiple Premier League, West Ham being the latest, offers to join on loan this season in January. He'd be guaranteed every game at West Ham. You can see why that would appeal to him. I think that'd be good. But he doesn't want it. He's not interested.
Good.
He wants to stay, and that's really good. And why would you not want to stay?
Train with. Do you remember
best?
Do you remember when Foden was coming through at Man City? There was a position in his career. I know he's a very much established starter now, but there was a point when he was coming through when a few people were questioning Guardiola, saying, would it be worth him getting a loan so he can play more? And Guardiola was like, no, playing here, and it's I'm the best manager. He's surrounded by the best squad. He's going to learn way more than going and playing in a team that, frankly, is probably not doing as well. No, stick around. He's 18.
Unless the player wants to go. That's different.
Of course, that will factor into it as well. But I don't know. I'd rather sit at the top table, even if I'm slightly on the edge of it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those. And ultimately, if Arsenal are going to do things this season, be around for it. Yeah. Go on loan next season. Do you know what I mean? Wait.
Be on the open top bus.
Yeah, see what happens. Yeah, exactly.
But against Portsmouth, he was integral to a really
and they will get some
performance.
Opportunities. If you go deep in that competition, then there's more game time for him. If Arteta's picking players for certain competitions, I mean, it was interesting. Marino didn't start tonight, and he was central to the team, wore the captain's armband, was absolutely brilliant. Came on tonight, made a difference, and it was very good again. But Nwaneri's a kid, so yeah, let him breathe.
Let's be honest, we're more likely than not likely to pick up more injuries, so he'll
that's also true.
He'll get his opportunity. I don't want him to go. I can understand if he wanted to go, and I'm delighted. It's a testament to his character and how he views and perceives himself and the club that he wants to stay, and that his minutes have been dropped off a cliff this season compared to last season. and he still wants to stay. That's good. I like that. Back yourself. Okay, so we go 1-0 up. 7 minutes in. Set piece again. Ole, ole.
So good.
It's so funny. What's that? I think it's 18 corners from 24 set piece guys or whatever it is. I don't care. It's just brilliant. It's winding up the right people. And I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like these goals don't count.
Oh, they absolutely do. Great.
And another one of my notes for tomorrow's pod is the long throw coach edition.
Yep.
And I noticed that. Did you notice that Rice got further with his throw this time in the game?
A bit. He did.
It didn't go up so much. The trajectory was better.
Given the success we have with him crossing the ball in from a corner, why don't they work some kind of like short throw-in routine so that they buy him some space to put in a cross? I don't get it. His throws aren't good enough to be weaponised.
Right, but you say that, right, so on a serious note, this long throw coach isn't about lobbing the ball into the box.
Oh, I know.
It's about retaining possession from a throw-in. When he went to Liverpool were 18th in the league in the percentage times they retained possession from the throw-in. They went, in his time there, they went from 18th to first.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's not about, not that you'll read that in the media headlines. No. The media narrative is not interested in the actual data and the detail, but that's why I'm here.
You're doing a public service.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'll tell you, the real reason we've got him is not to lob the ball into the. I'm sure that'll, he'll test everybody and see who's like. They've obviously had a little session after training one day, and everyone's had a go at a long throw, and Declan Rice has got it the furthest, and that's why he's taking the throws. But technique may play a role, and somebody else may. I can't believe Timber can't throw the ball further than and then you want your fullback taking the throw in anyway. But anyway,
well, if that's why you're here, I just want to let everyone know that the reason I'm here is because I haven't fully formed it yet, but I'm workshopping a new chant about our set pieces to a Venga Boys song. So there you go. You're welcome.
Well, I'll reserve thanks until I hear it.
Yes, maybe tomorrow's pod if I get some time to work on it.
Okay, so Ben White's goal. Now there have been a few murmurings about the offside positioning of Gyokeres compared to Haaland. So I've got two things to say about that.
Oh, I didn't see that, so you might need to explain.
Right, so
Haaland, that is.
Haaland's goal, sorry, not Haaland's goal, but Semenyo's second, what would have been his second goal yesterday, from I think a corner, but a flick, and Haaland was standing on the goal line, or just shortly, a little bit inside from the goal line, and he was like right next to a defender. No idea who it was, and I was watching it, and I did not want City to get the goal. I wanted Newcastle still do want Newcastle to win through in that tie. But I was looking at it thinking, do you know what? As much as I dislike City, this goal should not be disallowed. Mm. It just shouldn't. Okay. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. We're talking about millimetres and so on. And it was disallowed. And the positioning of Gyokeres and whichever Chelsea defender it was is almost identical. In fact, Gyokeres is probably in more of an offside position, really. But so the first thing I wanted to say is, like, Haaland's goal shouldn't have been disallowed. Oh, sorry, Semenyo's goal shouldn't have been disallowed because of Haaland, and Ben White's goal shouldn't have been disallowed. But actually, Haaland was impeding the defender, whereas for Ben White's goal, Gyokeres was being impeded by the defender. The defender wasn't even looking at the ball, and the irony is, we argue about Gyokeres occupying the defenders, like, what else is he supposed to do? However, had the defender not been so obsessed by Gyokeres, if he just turned around and looked at the ball, he literally could have taken one step to his right and blocked it.
A lot of the Chelsea defenders did. A lot of them were just sort of watching it go in. And it was kind of like, what are you doing? They were really sleepy in defence in the first part of the game. It was very telling.
So definitely a valid goal. Like, no way should that have been disallowed. 8 to go. Okay. What was the score at half time? It was 1-0 at half time. And then
2-1.
No, it was 1-0 at half time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we scored early in the second half.
49 minutes. How do you think Gyokeres played in the game?
Okay. I thought he played okay. There was a thing, a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, you know, it's just confidence or whatever. Actually, I feel like he's been playing exactly the same all season, but he is just one of those players. You know, a bit like when Haaland came. Now, the difference, obviously, is Haaland kept finding the bloody net. But essentially, a lot of people were talking about, oh, like, he only has, like, 2 touches a game, but he scores 2 goals. Gyokeres is a low-touch player. He's not someone who's involved in lots of passing. But you need to score more
if you're a low-touch player. He
absolutely does need to score more. And so, you know, they brought up a stat saying, you know, he's only had 7 touches. It's like, well, yeah. He's like the striker. Like that's but not a stick to beat
in that
with.
Same graphic, Ødegaard only had 14 touches. He was about the 4th fewest touches.
Yes, they're looking for things to beat him with.
Yeah, at that point of the game, Chelsea were more dominant in terms of possession. It's like, it was just go away.
That was a nonsense sort of thing. But there did seem a live. You know, he gets his goal. Great, you know, poacher's finish. You know, he benefited from Sanchez's,
fumble,
marmalade fingers, sort of letting the ball through and poked it home. And there did seem a kind of difference in his body language, because then later on in a passage of play, ball goes over and he's able to sort of control it, you know, hold off the defender, take them on. I think he tries to shoot or cross and then it's like goes out for a corner. But even just, it was the way he carried himself doing it that just looked to be a little bit more confidence.
Look, it's all about numbers for him, right?
Yeah, of course.
Away at Chelsea, we win, he gets a goal and an assist.
Brilliant.
That's your number 9. That's what you want.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Absolutely. So, credit there, and he has got 8 goals this season. Our top scorer's got 9. I have another stat about that, but I will save that one for tomorrow. Otherwise, there'll be no chatting tomorrow at all. So you've got to keep something, got to keep powder dry a little bit. 2-0, feeling good, and then Garnacho, who Chris has always described as having a face you just want to slap.
Only a mother could love. I think is the other one as well. He does have a very punchable face. It must be said.
But he pops up. I mean, we didn't defend either of his goals particularly well.
Can I talk about the first one? Right, the first one, it's when Timber's doing that routine of stepping into the front line like Calafiori does. So when Chelsea then get the turnover and they do that transition where it's a diagonal ball to the winger, I want to say Estavio, but it might have been someone different at that time. But yeah, Estavio gets it. That means that whole channel is completely like void of a fullback. Gabriel then has to come over. There's a slip in midfield from someone. I can't remember who exactly it was. And it just felt like, all of a sudden, absolute loss of control in defence that they were able to capitalise on. Compounded by the fact, I know the slip was fairly terminal, but there was a phase or two of play after that where we could have set.
Absolutely.
But when the ball comes over, White goes inside to challenge the man who's going up for the ball, where Saliba is kind of there and the keeper might be able to cover, meaning that he's left Garnacho behind him. So everyone went into panic stations. Garnacho finished well, and yeah, it was a bit of one where I felt like we certainly could have done a lot more to stop that. And it just made me think of, I remember one of the first times I went to Stamford Bridge was at the height of Hazard and Diego Costa playing, and just literally without fail, they did this thing where Arsenal would press, and these are in the days of Wenger, so Arsenal would press, and basically Chelsea would turn over the ball, and all they would do is just hit the ball long into the corner, because Hazard would be there waiting to pick it up, because there was just a gaping hole. And it sort of reminded me of that. And like Chris said in our WhatsApp, there was a bit of a lack of control. It was a bit end-to-end at times in the game, and I'm sure Arteta wasn't overly happy with that. And it was kind of symptomatic of that. And like you say, at that point, 2-0 up, control the game a bit better. You've got a 2-goal advantage. You don't need to be cavalier. I like the fact that we got that second goal. Absolutely brilliant. But that felt a real pain to me. The second one was a set piece, so that's a bit more.
Okay, before the second one,
okay.
we did regain our 2-goal advantage, and Zubimendi scored a brilliant goal. I mean, I think he's now this is now his best goal scoring season officially.
Ever.
I think
ever.
And it was a brilliant goal. Nicely set up again. Hold up play. You're number 9. It's what you want him to do. Hold up. Little flick to the side. Zubimendi had a lot to do. Still, he turned down certainly 1, maybe 2 opportunities to shoot, and then shoot with his weaker foot. But it was a lovely, unerring finish. Loved it. 3-1. Now, you've already referenced one of the big chances that we missed. There were 2, but actually one led to the other. The first one was Marino when he volleyed it. He caught it brilliantly. And when you see the replay of the effort from behind Sanchez, you realise how unlucky Marino was. He caught it well. I mean, it could have been a little bit wider, but still, get your volley on target. It's not that's the first thing. Get it on target. You can't really precision place a volley. It's not as easy as if you're kind of hitting it off the ground. And it just hit Sanchez's toe, like it was lucky save. It was a very good save. If you're a Chelsea fan, you're saying that was a brilliant save. Obviously, a goal-saving save, but isn't every save a goal-saving save? Have I just said one of the most stupid things I've ever said?
It was a tie-saving save.
No. I appreciate your efforts, but but it was a brilliant save. But from the corner, that's when Gabriel missed his header. And that was the bigger miss for me. Yeah. He slightly impeded by the other player. Who was the other player? The Arsenal player?
Was it not Timber?
Not Timber again. No, it wasn't. It can't have been. I'd have complained more vocally if it had been him, because he's done that a few times.
Might have been Saliba then.
But Gabriel still got his full head to it, and he hit it just two down. I know they always say keep your headers down. But
I love that phrase. Yeah, he's headed that too well, if anything.
Yeah, well, no. and again, okay, so that would have been 4-1, and it would have, the atmosphere would have, the energy would have just, like a burst balloon in Stamford Bridge had that gone in. And then Garnacho then from a corner. I thought Kepa could have been a bit stronger on the corner, but he was under a lot of pressure as well.
And who's getting out to Garnacho? It was a slow reaction. And where's the bodies on the line sliding in? Come on.
And there were 3, there's that angle of the
Saliba
3 Arsenal players, just like how tempted would one of them been to handball it?
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
No, because that would have been a penalty and a red card, and they would have missed. I don't know. We seem to pick up an awful lot of cards. Do these cards carry over to the league?
No, not the league. No, it's all competition based now. Okay,
so we got 4 yellow cards in that game. Again, that's probably not a lot, but that's a lot for us this season. We're like top of the fair play table. Another league we're top of, apparently. Okay, so look. 3-2. I think it's brilliant. If you'd offered me 3-2 at the start of the game, I'd have said, "Oh, thank you very much."
Oh, if you'd offered me a win, I'd take it. Especially, look, we all predicted 1-1. I thought it would be a lot cagier, and I think Chris is clearly disappointed because we did lose the control that we're normally so famous for, and especially when you're in such an advantageous position. His phrase was he wanted us to stink the place out. Well, actually, we sort of let the handbrake off a little bit. Chelsea had a lot more possession, meaning that we were able to then counter ourselves, and certainly made for an entertaining game. But I must admit, I can't help feeling the emotion of that moment of those soft goals given away, leaving them feeling like they're more in it than I feel like they should be. So that's just frustrating. But yeah, look, a win away at Chelsea, they don't come often. It's good. If
Arteta did let the handbrake off a little bit, do you think he'll be more or less inclined to do so in the next game, based on what happened?
At Forest or in the
next game
at
Forest?
Leg?
Yeah, no, at Forest.
We're away at Forest. Oh, see, Forest are in a bit of a sticky spell. I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about more tomorrow.
You think they're better than their league position as well? They've got dangerous players.
Yes.
But do you think? But based on tonight's performance, do you think Arteta would be more or less inclined to let the handbrake off at the City grounds?
I can't base it on just tonight. I know Arteta's
I'm just saying that you said it, that it was almost
freak. He will not. He'll want the handbrake more on. Definitely.
So if he tried it this time, you'll think he'll consider he's had his fingers burned a little bit, and he's not going to do that again.
He'll look at the 2 that Chelsea got, and that will override the 3 that we got.
I think we had we had 17 shots to their 10. This is
6
at
on
Stamford
target
Bridge.
to their 5.
That's at Stamford Bridge.
At Stamford Bridge.
Come on.
We got to go
I think we did brilliantly.
We got to go to the Seagrounds. That's a tough place. But we did very well. And look, the fact that we then got to go home, our home record is exceptional this season. So it's all in our favour. But
and the atmosphere will be white hot.
Yes, on that. So just on a personal one, I mentioned to my wife earlier that I was maybe toying with going to the second leg, and she was like, "But that's like in the middle of the week, and you've got work and stuff, and you get really tired because obviously every game's an away game." But I'm like, "Yeah, but it's Chelsea, it's the second leg, yeah, so I might." And now there's only 1 goal in it. I'll be there.
Well, I won't be there. I will be. In fact, I don't know what day of the week is it on.
It's Tuesday because they flip reverse. Yeah,
Tuesday. I might cancel my last session on a Tuesday.
Well,
so
I tutor on a Tuesday as well, so that's going to get shifted. Hello, Tuti. I don't want to say their name just in case, but you never know. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll be on the phone.
This is possibly a conversation we should have when we stop recording. Right.
Late.
Listen. On that, this instant reaction has kind of dragged on a little bit. Apologies for that, but I'm sure you're all here for it. It's a win away at Stamford Bridge. It's a result and a performance to be praised and celebrated, despite feelings of missed chances and whatever. I'm not here for the negativity after this one. I get it. We could have scored more, but my word, considering how I was feeling before kickoff to now, I'll take it all day long. I'm giddy.
Big Vic,
almost.
Goal and assist.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, positives. We'll get around Kepa, whether he keeps his position for the second leg or not, I don't know, but we'll plenty of time we can discuss that. Anyway, cheers for listening. Cheers for the Patreon guys. I think, Steph, you were entertaining a decent conversation as the game was going on there.
Patreon.
I must work out how to get it on my phone because I'm rubbish. Anyway, we're back again tomorrow for a preview of the Forest game on Saturday. So in the meantime, have a great evening and day, and we did beat Chelsea. Cheerio.
See ya.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app, and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.